Taiwan independence and safeguarding China's sovereignty. Taiwan accused China of military intimidation and violating international norms, noting that some drill zones were within 12 nautical miles of its coast, disrupting shipping and aviation. Taiwan's defense ministry reported detecting a record 89 Chinese military aircraft along with 28 warships and Coast Guard vessels, and confirmed the presence of a Chinese amphibious assault ship formation in the Western Pacific.
In terms of naval power, we detected a total of 14 Chinese Navy ships and 14 Coast Guard ships, including 4 in the outlying islands. Until 3 p.m. this afternoon, we detected a total of 89 primary and support combat aircraft and drones, including 67 that came into our response area.
The drills follow recent U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, which China warned could push the region toward conflict. Taiwan said it had activated response mechanisms and deployed forces to monitor the situation closely.
External forces attempting to use Taiwan to contain China and arm Taiwan will only embolden pro-independence arrogance and push the Taiwan Strait into a perilous situation of imminent war.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Sunday that he and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky were getting a lot closer to an agreement to end the conflict in Ukraine, though both leaders acknowledged that some of the thorniest details remain unresolved.
The much-anticipated talks to end the Russia-Ukraine conflict took place in Florida on Sunday, where U.S. President Donald Trump claimed that negotiators are getting closer to Ukraine peace deal, though he acknowledged that thorny issues remain and declined to provide a concrete timeline for when they might be resolved. The two leaders spoke at a joint press conference after meeting at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. Trump said it will be clear in a few weeks whether negotiations to end the conflict will succeed. Both men have said that both countries are broadly in agreement about most of the points in the negotiation. Notably, however, both Trump and Zelensky did not offer any timelines, instead vowing to have their teams meet again in the coming weeks. Trump called it a terrific meeting and described Donbas, the eastern Ukrainian territory on the front line of fighting, as an unresolved issue, but said that they were getting a lot closer to an agreement. Trump said that Russia are going to be helping with the reconstruction of Ukraine. He added that he was open to visiting Ukraine, ideally after a deal was agreed.
We had a terrific meeting. We discussed a lot of things. As you know, I had an excellent phone call with President Putin that lasted for over 2 hours. We discussed a lot of points, and I do think we're getting a lot closer, maybe very close. We spoke to all of those great leaders. They're all great leaders. And we had a great talk with them after we were completed. We thought it was appropriate to speak with them. And our meeting was excellent. We covered, somebody would say 95%, I don't know what percent, but we have made a lot of progress on ending that war, which is really certainly the most deadly war since World War II, probably the biggest war since World War II.
Meanwhile, Zelensky thanked Trump for a great meeting, adding that a 20-point peace plan was 90% agreed, calling them the key milestone in achieving lasting peace.
First of all, I would like to thank President Trump for a great meeting at this amazing place in his home in Mar-a-Lago. And we had a really great discussions on all the topics, and we appreciate the progress that was made by American and Ukrainian teams in these recent weeks. And we discussed all the aspects of the peace framework, which includes, and we have great achievements, 20-point peace plan, 90% agreed, and U.S.-Ukraine security guarantees, 100% agreed. U.S.-Europe-Ukraine security guarantees, almost agreed. Military dimension, 100% agreed. Prosperity plan being finalized, and we also discussed the sequencing of the following actions. And we agree that security guarantees is the key milestone in achieving lasting peace, and our teams will continue working on all aspects.
Just before Zelensky and Trump meet, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Trump spoke in a call described as productive by the US president and friendly by Kremlin. Following the meeting, Ukrainian president and other European leaders took to social media to thank US President Donald Trump and welcome progress made on peace negotiations aimed at ending Russia's conflict in Ukraine. Bureau Report, DD India.
US President Donald Trump spoke over a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Sunday for over an hour, describing the conversation as good and very productive. The call initiated by the US focused on Ukraine conflict resolution prospects ahead of Trump's meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said both leaders agreed a temporary ceasefire would prolong the war, urging Ukraine to make responsible decisions. The Russian president accepted Trump's proposal for working groups on mediation. They plan another call post-meeting. Putin noted Russian advances and no interest in waiting for withdrawals. The Kremlin said on Monday that Ukraine should withdraw its troops from the part of Donbas that it still controls if it wanted peace, and that if Kiev did not strike a deal, then it would lose yet more territory. Russia currently controls a fifth of Ukraine, including Crimea, which it annexed in 2014, about 90% of Donbas, 75% of Zaporizhia and Kherson regions, and slivers of Kharkiv, Sumy, Mykolaiv and Dnipropetrovsk regions, according to Russian estimates. The Kremlin also added that a call between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump would take place very soon. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Monday that a draft peace framework to end Russia's war envisages US security guarantees for Ukraine for 15 years. Speaking to reporters in a WhatsApp chat, Zelensky added that he had asked US President Donald Trump to provide guarantees of up to 50 years.
I already told him that we are already at war, and it has been for almost 15 years. And that is why I really wanted the guarantees to be longer. And I told him that we would really like to consider the possibility of 30, 40, 50 years. And then this will be a historic decision by President Trump. The president said that he would think about it.
US President Donald Trump is expected to push for progress in the stalled ceasefire in Gaza when he meets with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday for talks that will include Israel's concerns over Hezbollah in Lebanon and Iran. Netanyahu said this month that Trump had invited him for talks as Washington pushes to establish transitional governance and an international security force for the Palestinian enclave. Trump has said he could meet with the Israeli leader soon, but the White House has not confirmed the details. Netanyahu said on December 22nd that discussions were expected to cover the second phase of the Gaza ceasefire and as well as Iran and Lebanon. Washington brokers ceasefires on all three fronts, but Israel is wary of its foes rebuilding their forces after they were considerably weakened in the conflict. Now, Thailand's army on Monday accused Cambodia of violating a newly signed ceasefire agreement reached after weeks of deadly border clashes by flying more than 250 drones over its territory. Thailand and Cambodia agreed to the immediate ceasefire on Saturday, pledging to end renewed border clashes that killed dozens of people and displaced more than 1 million this month. The Thai army said Monday more than 250 unmanned aerial vehicles were detected flying from the Cambodian side, including into Thailand's sovereign territory on Sunday night, according to a statement. Under the truce pact signed on Saturday, the Southeast Asian neighbors agreed to ceasefire, freeze troop movements and cooperate on demining efforts and combating cybercrime. Cambodian Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn described the drone incident as a small issue related to flying drones seen by both sides along the borderline immediately. In Bangladesh, traders staging an anti-extortion human chain in our area came under attack on Monday, triggering tension and disrupting the demonstration. Witnesses said around 150 to 200 traders under the banner of Islamia shot the human chain in front of the Karma Bazaar kitchen market in morning as part of a pre-announced program protesting alleged extortion. A group armed with sticks allegedly attacked the protesters, leading to a chase and counter-chase in the area. It was alleged that Abdur Rahman, an expelled member secretary of the Tejgaon unit of Jubo Dal, has been demanding extortion from local traders since August 5 last year. Police rushed to the spot and brought the situation under control. Meanwhile, on the political front, BNP acting chairman Tariq Rahman submitted his nomination papers on Monday for the Dhaka 17 constituency, the final day for filing nominations for the 13th national parliamentary election. Now, India is set to host the AI Impact Summit from 15th to 20th February 2026 in New Delhi. Addressing the media in New Delhi on Monday, Secretary in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology S. Krishnan said that the summit will witness participation from over 100 countries.
Next AI summit, and that is to be held in the week from 15th to 20th of February 2026. And as we have emphasized a number of times, it is the summit has been called the AI Impact Summit. Also, the scale of many of these summits has grown considerably. In the initial summit, we had about 27 countries which participated, including India. By the time we came to France, it was about 100 plus countries participating in various forms. And that number we expect to better this year in terms of better in the next summit in February 26.
Let's now take a look at other stories making news around the world. Bulgarian businesses are preparing for the country's transition from the left to the euro on January 1st, as Bulgaria is set to become the 21st member of the eurozone. While the move has generated mixed reactions, winemakers and exporters like Natalia Garsheva welcome the change, citing easier cross-border trade and simpler pricing for customers. A town in southern Germany marks the Rauhnacht or Tough Night Run, reviving an alpine tradition where people dress as devils and mythical creatures, using fire, bells and rituals to drive away evil spirits and winter. The mayor of Colombia's Cartagena announced that the city will ban traditional horse-drawn carriages starting Monday. These carriages have been a historic tourist attraction but have faced criticism from animal rights activists for causing stress and injuries to the animals. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. India emerges global renewable energy leader. Details after the break. In tennis, Nick Kyrgios beat Arina Sabalenka 6-3, 6-3 in Dubai's Battle of the Sexes exhibition with his trademark flair.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. President Draupadi Murmu addressed the 15th convocation ceremony of National Institute of Technology in Jharkhand's Jamshedpur on Monday. Addressing the gathering, the President spoke about the unprecedented transformations happening in the field of technology and the opportunities and challenges that come with it.
समय में जितनी तेज गति से तकनीकी बदलाव हो रही है, उस गति से शायद ही पहले की किसी कालखंड में हुई थी। इन बदलाव से जहां एक और नए अवसर उपलब्धि हो रहा है, वही दूसरी ओर नई चुनौतियां भी उत्पन्न हो रही है। तकनीकी विकास से शिक्षा, कृषि, स्वास्थ्य सेवा, संचार और ऊर्जा उत्पादन के क्षेत्र में अभूतपूर्व परिवर्तन हो रहे हैं।
President Murmu also spoke about the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 and the importance of research, innovation and a startup culture to achieve this goal.
बस 2047 तक हमने भारत को एक विकसित राष्ट्र बनाने का लक्ष्य रखा है। इस लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति में रिसर्च, इनोवेशन और स्टार्टअप कल्चर को बढ़ावा देना तथा युवाओं को स्किल्ड वर्कफोर्स के रूप में विकसित करना अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है। भारत सरकार रिसर्च, इनोवेशन, स्टार्टअप्स को बढ़ावा देने के लिए अनेक योजनाएं चला रहे हैं।
Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan is on a two-day maiden visit of Puducherry after assuming office and was accorded a warm welcome with a guard of honor. During a civic reception, the Vice President recalled Puducherry's rich civilizational, cultural and spiritual heritage, paying tribute to great thinkers of the state. The Vice President inaugurated a housing project under the Smart Cities mission and handed over keys to 216 beneficiaries, appreciating the Prime Minister's vision of housing for all and the Puducherry government's effective implementation. He also unveiled the statue of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharatiya at the Bharatiya Memorial, honouring the poet's enduring contribution to Tamil literature and national awakening. He inaugurated the senior secondary block of Petit Seminaire CBSE school, emphasizing holistic, value-based education and urging students to contribute to the vision of developed India by 2047. India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal announced on Monday that from January 1st next year, 100% of Australian tariff lines will become zero duty for Indian exports, opening new opportunities for labour-intensive sectors. Marking the third anniversary of the India-Australia Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, Goyal said the pact has led to sustained export growth, improved market access and stronger supply chain resilience. He noted that India's exports to Australia grew by 8% in 2024-25, helping improve the trade balance. The minister highlighted strong export gains in manufacturing, chemicals, textiles, plastic, pharmaceuticals, petroleum products and gems and jewellery, with the latter registering a 16% rise between April and November. He added that agri-exports also saw broad-based growth, particularly in fruits and vegetables, marine products, spices and coffee. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated the Jyoti Bishnu Antarjatik Kala Mandir in Assam's Guwahati on Monday. During his address at the event, the Home Minister spoke about the issue of infiltration while hailing Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma's developmental efforts in the state.
मठों की भूमि हो, काजीरंगा का जंगल हो या आसाम के गांवों की सीम हो, सभी जगह घुसपैठियों ने कब्जा जमाया था। ये 10 साल के अंदर और विशेषकर हेमंत विश्व शर्मा के नेतृत्व में 5 साल में 1,29,000 बीघा जमीन को खाली कराने का काम।
India is accelerating its clean energy transition at an unprecedented pace, achieving major climate milestones years ahead of schedule. The country has crossed the halfway mark in non-fossil power capacity and is emerging as a global leader in renewable energy growth. In line with the Prime Minister's Narendra Modi COP26 vision, India is moving steadily towards its goal of 500 gigawatt non-fossil energy capacity by 2030. India reached 50% non-fossil power capacity in June 2025, 5 years ahead of its Paris Agreement target. India's non-fossil installed capacity reached 262.74 gigawatt or 51.5% of the total installed electricity capacity in November 2025. India's solar energy leads growth with 132.85 gigawatt installed, crossing 100 gigawatt in January 2025 and recording over 41% annual increase. Wind power crossed 50 gigawatt, reaching 53.99 gigawatt, with capacity addition rising significantly in 2025. Sports updates now. We'll start with tennis. Nick Kyrgios defeated world number 1 Arina Sabalenka 6-3, 6-3 in a lively battle of the sexes exhibition at Dubai's Coca-Cola Arena. Played before a sold-out crowd, the contest featured modified rules including a one-serve per point format and a smaller court on Sabalenka's side. Kyrgios broke for a 4-3 lead to claim the opening set and rallied from 1-3 down in the second to secure victory. Former Wimbledon finalist showcased his flair and resilience despite recent injury setbacks. Sabalenka entertained fans with her energy, making the match a memorable spectacle. And India's growing love for fast-paced basketball was on full display in Delhi as the Harish Sharma 3-on-3 All India Basketball Championship 2025 brought together the country's best emerging talent. With strong participation, Olympic relevance and veterans backing the format, the tournament underlined why 3-on-3 basketball is being seen as the future of the game worldwide. A report by DD India's Narayan Singh.
Harish Sharma 3-on-3 All India Basketball Championship 2025 concluded successfully at the KD Jadhav Indoor Hall in Delhi. The two-day championship witnessed massive participation from across the country. As many as 87 teams took part, including 63 men's teams and 24 women's teams, reflecting the growing popularity of the format in India. 3-on-3 basketball is an Olympic sport since Tokyo 2020 Games, is known for its fast pace and high intensity. Former India women's basketball captain Prashanti Singh and Divya Singh described 3-on-3 basketball as the future of the sport, highlighting its global appeal and Olympic status.
3-on-3 is the future of basketball worldwide because it is more explosive, it is short, crisp, it is an Olympic sport now. Or such kind of exposure is going to help players a lot because they're here under 14 and senior team, senior members playing together. So junior players are very, very excited to see senior players at the same court. So it is the future and it is good. Most of the good players, like a 3-on-3, you see so many players who have won a silver or a bronze or gold in international championship. They are playing here and they are actually having good time. And these kind of events should be definitely helping Indian basketball to reach to next level. And I personally feel that India has a great chance in 3-on-3. So definitely it will help.
Events like Harish Sharma 3-on-3 Championship are crucial for talent identification and grassroots development. They provide young players with competitive exposure and a pathway to the international stage.
3-on-3 is the future of the basketball, and it is an Olympic sport, and it is an important thing, and that will help the young Indian basketball players to nurture their talent, and in coming time definitely they will showcase their talent at the world level too. With camera person Manmohan, Narayan Singh, DD India, Delhi.
Bhutan's left-arm spinner Sonam Yeshe created history in Galapfu, becoming the first bowler ever to claim 8 wickets in a T20 match. The 22-year-old delivered a spell for the ages against Myanmar in the third T20I, finishing with astonishing figures of 8 for 7 in 4 overs. His brilliance skittled Myanmar for just 45 runs while chasing Bhutan's 127 runs, sealing an emphatic 82-run win and extending Bhutan's unbeaten run to 4-0 in the 5-match series. Bhutan Cricket hailed it as a world record, surpassing all previous 7-wicket hauls in men's and women's T20 cricket. The Kabaddi Champions League lit up Gurugram with its much-awaited player auction, marking the start of an exciting inaugural season. Kabaddi legends Mohit Chillar and Rajesh Narwal inspired young players with their belief in the league's impact, while para-javelin thrower Navdeep Singh Sheran highlighted the spirit of determination and inclusivity. The event brought together voices from Kabaddi, para-sports and fitness, creating an atmosphere of motivation and celebration. With passion running high, the auction set the stage for defining teams and stories in KCL's debut season. And that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.